and he's stepping up.
It's two completely different teams where the peeps, they lost Arsenal. He left on purpose. No one would ever leave a G2 squad. They literally could pick anyone they wanted. They picked Chicago, and it was a great move so far.
It has looked very good, especially here in day number 3. You know, we talk about the success that G2's had at this tournament. A lot of it did hinge on him, but also the man in the middle here, Rizzo, looking very good on the offensive front.
Yeah, we talk about a third man role, and we saw it when the peeps played Fairy Peak. Fairy Peak was getting lost, but Rizzo has been moving up the field at the perfect opportunities, and then JNaps with the play of the series, last series, with the defensive dunk, then into the pass. Huge plays by them. They were down 3-1 to NRG, and they battled back and took that series.
Yeah, the ability to come back, a lot of that does rely on this man right here, Jazo, the coach of G2, making it calm, being the Reddles of the group almost. There's no team leader that they need to worry about because they got Jazo behind there trying to encourage him, and this is going to be bloody.
Yeah, I would be willing to say that, you know, a lot, I think, of this next series is going to rely on his shoulders there and helping keep a healthy mindset over this roster for G2, because I think it's very easy to be, when things go wrong, you shouldn't be doing this versus the peeps. You're G2, right? And understanding that they deserve to be in this position and having that third mind to just go, cool it, right? They're here, you're better than them, this is what we practiced for.
And that's what they have to be saying. G2 has to say, we are better than the peeps, and just play to their game. We heard it from Rizzo, just play our game. As long as we play our game and then tweak things a little bit here or there, we will be fine, and that's what I expect to see from G2.
G2 does have the experience as well from the finals of RLCS. They know what it's like to be in this position, and that makes them that much hungrier because they were so close to winning the World Championship, and now they finally have regained a second chance.
Well, with this, guys, I know it seems impossible, as we've already talked about. How do you compare these two teams? But I need you to compare these two teams. I need to know, who do you think, after all the amazing action over this weekend, will walk away the Dreamhack Montreal champions?
There's been some magic with the peeps. There's also been magic from G2. They've broken my curse multiple times throughout the weekend. I'm picking them again here. I think G2 walks away winners.
Okay.
I mean...
You hear the one who in the crowd. That enthusiasm could carry him enough. Thank you.
I mean, dude, Chicago has been from the beginning, all the way from the bottom. He started in the rival series. He's made it to this moment before, and now I think he's going to take it. I think G2 are going to come out here victorious.
And you guys know me, I'm a Chicago fanboy. You know, and the fact that they have made it to the grand finals, I've been waiting for this moment since the day I got behind that young rookie. But the peeps have way too much going for them. Every single person has said, this is the end of the road to the peeps, and they've looked them in the eyes and said, nah, not today. Why is T2 going to be the roster to actually do that to it?
I think this crowd's starting to pull a fire burner. I'm starting to feel like it's 90-10 for the peeps at this point with that crowd getting behind them. This is going to be fun because even when G2 travels to Europe, they have more fans normally. So this is going to be very interesting.
Okay, so first of all, we're going to get a battle between the players, but now, I mean, both of them got their families in the crowd. They got signs up. This is going to be so intense.
It's insane because G2's been waiting for this moment, and we kept talking about 7 different winners in 7 lands, and G2 was not on that list. And it's like, when will they win? And then the peeps come out of nowhere with all this magic, and they're here. They're like, hold on, G2. You might have put in all this work throughout 2019, but the peeps have been climbing through the rival series, now in the RLCS, and they want this just as badly.
And it's the, you know, both teams climbing, but it's the haste at which the peeps seem to ascend atop the mountain of North America. They look so very good here. Though the crowd here at Montreal seem heavily in favor of the peeps. You guys at home, 63%. Not surprising there, sitting on the side of G2.
It's still crazy to think. North America versus North America.
I know, I'm in awe.
We've never seen it before. Again, we always talk about the big 3, but the peeps like, no, we'll be the first North America final. I love it. I love it from the peeps.
Absolutely adore it here. Any closing thoughts before we give it to our commentators to get this thing going?
We've seen a lot of overtimes throughout Dreamhack.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
Game 7 overtime, we need it. We need it.
Okay, we had a 10-minute overtime. Can we get a 21 now? A 20-minute overtime?
Why not?
Please.
Let's be here all night.
You see the peep fans out there? There's a lot of boos over that. Like immediately, you can hear them like going, that's not happening. We're going to put it in the back of that before that time. I am so ready here to get this thing going. So we're going to send it to the commentary crew. It is Johnny Boy and Shogun.
Well, this has certainly been 4 years in the making. We are over here at Dreamhack Montreal. And before we do get into the nitty-gritty, I want to stare dead into that camera and say, Turtle, No. Bad turtle. We barely survived the 10-minute one earlier on.
Oh, no,
I don't
thank
think
you.
we survive a 20-minute.
No, we can't take a 20-minute overtime. It's just a bit much over here. But listen, how have we got an all-NA final that doesn't contain either Cloud9 or NRG? That is unbelievable. The G2, fair enough, but the peeps, man, they've actually made it all the way here. Can you believe it?
Seed number 12, the peeps. The biggest upset story in the world was just them getting to this point. They are one best of 7 away from taking it all. Dreamhack Montreal, it's our grand finals. Are you ready? Let's get to it. Game number 1. It is going to be over at DFH Stadium. Let's get this underway.
Let's see if G2 come out with or without respect. They might just try and dominate this matchup. We heard Chicago before the match started. In the interview, he said, well, good luck, the peeps. We are the best team in the world.
There is a worry here as well that G2 have just been so stifling against many of their opponents this weekend that if there was a team that could steamroll the peeps in this grand finals, it would be G2. Stylistically, it's a very interesting series. Rebels will finally see the ball away as both teams currently trading possession. Chicago gonna pick it up over in the corner.
This is a good start for the peeps. They're not letting G2 get an early goal, which could just bring G2 out completely flying. Oh, that's a good air dribble by Rattles. They're actually slowing down the game, keeping the ball in the air. G2 spreading out left and right, as we know they love to do. Another good save by Mist. We're hoping for plenty more of those. If the semi-final was any indication of what to expect in the final.
Yeah, Mist has not cooled down a bit, and it might be down to him to be the frustrator of G2 as this series goes along, as he has done for so many teams this weekend. Rizzo already up, keeping that offensive pressure going. Chicago lays off the backboard. Rettles has actually missed this. Mist is in a very difficult position. G2 starting to circle around, looking for their first opportunity. Rizzo can't find the demo. Peeps have just had their first taste of that G2 offense.
You have to be so careful. This is not a map where you can hide inside the near post. Rizzo can see you there. Came across looking for blood. Came out with nothing. So far, the peeps are keeping G2 at bay. There haven't been any scares, any, real scares just yet. It's like the NRG series in the semi-final. G2, they're just weighing up their opponents. They're waiting to see what kind of peeps it's going to be. Are they going to play nervously? This is way more pressure than they've experienced at any stage of their Rocket League careers.
I think in many situations, the fact that they have come straight into this series after not having the hour-long break that G2 has had is actually a major plus for them. They haven't had the time to let themselves think about the situation they've got themselves into.
Yeah, I can't agree more. Peeps looking solid. It's a brilliant clear. Back volley off the back wall. Look at JNAPS having to track all the way back for it, and now Missed with an opportunity. He puts it wide, so close for the peeps. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. That's the best chance we've seen all game.
Shot that probably should have gone in, but the peeps warning G2 that this is not a freebie. That trophy is very much up for grabs. That was unconvincing for a little while there. Rizzo taking the ball over. He has been removed from the field, however, and can have no more threat to the peeps net.
The peeps are hitting the ball well. This is promising. They keep on clearing the ball this easily. Can't get pressure, but look at that.
It's Missed.
Chicago all the way. Denied by Missed on the goal line. Brilliant save.
Well, we started off the DreamHack Rocket League Pro Circuit with a player that just constantly could not be defeated in net in the form of Taz. We come to the end of the Pro Circuit, and we've got yet another one. That one's going to go off the crossbar. Still an opportunity for G2. Rizzo taps down for the double tap. Rizzo, number 1, G2.
And I don't think there's a better player to open the scoring for G2. He's had drop-offs at late tournament matches in the past, but now he is playing brilliantly, and his team are seeing one of the best runs they've had. I think the best run they've had as a team, even I would say better than the World Championship run, which saw them beating their local competition. They didn't have to go up against as many great teams as they have this weekend, and look at what's happening. G2 adding to their scoring tally.
Yeah, lovely layoff. Peeps tried to get some offensive momentum going. Just couldn't find the ball. G2 open net. And right now, G2 doing to the Peeps what NRG did to them earlier on.
It's pretty crazy. I can't imagine. I never would have thought that we would have G2 in a grand final and they wouldn't be the crowd favorites anywhere in the world, any event, because all the other teams that you expect to make the grand final against them would be the favorites. But look at this from Rettles. No fear. Rebound for the first goal.
Watch the goal go in and hear the crowd explode. Rettles gets there unchallenged, unmarked, and he will find the back of the net. 59 seconds on the clock. Still one more needed.
And they didn't need any seconds on the clock to tie game 6 against Vitality. A scintillating semi-final matchup. Infield passes available. Gyro decides to shoot. JNAP's ready for it this time.
Yeah, probably wasn't the correct decision. There was somebody in a perfect spot to pass to. Didn't quite get it. Go the direction that it needed.
Oh, they've got it.
Lovely build. Plays 2-0, and it took no time.
Missed off the ball. Realizes it's on target already, so he plays the goalkeeper. JNAP's could not get there. What a play by Mist.
Peeps have found their way back, and they did it quick. Rettles with a demo. It's going to leave a 3v2 advantage for the time being. Lovely pop up. It's Mist again, who's been covering that defense. He would love to try and add some offense, but this has been the offensive powerhouse this weekend. Gyro has been unstoppable. Oh! Has been unstoppable.
Are you kidding me? JNAP's poor clear getting denied by Rettles. He attacked that ball so fast, G2 didn't even know a shot was coming. 3-2 the Peeps. A minute ago, they're down by 2, and we're thinking, this is going all to plan for G2. It's just as we expected. The Peeps make the Cinderella run, but they can't handle the grand final pressure. Well, I'll tell you what, they can.
JNAPS tries to find Rizzo. It's over the top of him. Final 10 seconds for the Peeps. They're just going to hold on. Chicago lays it off for JNAPS off the backboard, and that's so crucial that Gyro got contact. He's going to want to try and follow it up. Yet another block. Is that going to be enough?
It's in the air. G2 need to carry it the full length of the field, though, but in comes Mist. That's still going to be in the air for G2, though, if they can offload this. Rettles commits. It's Gyro 1v2. JNAPS brings it down. Chicago in front of him. He's put it on target. That's an equalizer. The Peeps punished for overextending.
That is the difference between any other game and a grand finals. The Peeps had their chance to finish it, and they didn't do so. Now, Johnny, I've said this sentence all too many times this weekend. We've got ourselves an OT, but it might not last long.
Wow. I mean, the Peeps, they just got overexcited. Rettles threw himself in and ended up assisting G2's goal. Now, it's a wide open shot for JNAPS, and that's the game! G2 punish the Peeps.
Heartbreaker. For the number 12 seed, the Peeps had it won. They just needed the ball to hit the floor, and they've just had it done to them exactly what they did to Renault Vitality.
All they needed to do is play patiently, wait for a chance to hit the ball for free. Until then, just keep up pressure, keep yourselves in the game. Rettles has gone completely crazy. He's flown right up to the back wall and smashed it off the solid surface. I'm thinking he's trying to pinch it down or something. That's the only thing that would have made sense in that position. To make a lot more sense would be to do nothing at all. Just wait and see what G2 are going to do, because it's them who have to keep the ball up. They're the ones who are forced into a play.
Well, what a roller coaster ride this was. 59 seconds left. G2 were easily easing in towards a win. And there were 26 seconds left. It looked like they lost it. 0 seconds left. Everything was up for grabs, but this is going to be a major test now for the Peeps. They've had momentum go against them. They've had a momentum go for them, but it's not been on this stage. It's not been at this level. In game 2, can they respond?
Well, it's all on Rettles now. He scored the goal to put the peeps in front. Brilliant wall half volley. And then he made the mistake that threw away the game. He left his teammate alone in defense, 1v2, and G2 executed to perfection.
This is a team that has got so much killer instinct. G2 would love to pounce and put as many goals past a bewildered Peep squad in this game 2. Up comes JNaps for the backboard double tap attempt. Almost nailed it.
Oh my goodness.
And it was only the woodwork that prevented so.
So close for JNaps. The peeps can't give JNaps space in these positions. Shooting well in the grand final so far. Just like in game 1, G2 starts off just testing. They want to find out how are the peeps going to react to that throw, because the peeps know they threw that. We saw Rettles right after he took himself out of the game and watched G2 score. He's just face-palmed right in the middle of the stage, taking full responsibility. Into the game, still no goals. The peeps, for the moment, keeping their composure. Now Rettles, too slow and off target.
Yeah, needed to do better with that one. Let's not forget either that G2 have been in a Dreamhack finals before. It was all the way back in 2018 over at Leipzig. They did take on PSG, also known as Frontline, also known as Reciprocity. There's a lot of names that go around over here, but they were the team that came out on the wrong side of that. But Johnny, I don't want to terrify you or anything. That was game 7 as well.
It was. I wouldn't mind at this point. We've already seen 2 semi-finals that were just as good as any grand finals I've seen in the history of Rocket League. If the grand finals is anything like those, I'm not going to complain. Look at the assist from Chicago. Rizzo with the easiest goal that he's going to get all day.
But it's G2's job to make this the easiest grand finals of their lives. 1 goal up. The peeps will need to respond, but we've seen them do it so many times this weekend. But I just can't get rid of that lingering fear that they're still rattled.
Rettles. Oh, well, there it is.
All right.
How about that for a solo play? Rettles just waits for Chicago to be out of the way, and then he 1v1s Rizzo. Not even close as well. That's a brilliant flick.
Well, here I am saying I don't know if they're going to be able to respond after that last game, and Rettles doesn't care less.
Oh, he's the one who made the mistake that threw away game 1, and he seems completely unfazed.
He's the one that you'd want to be the least phased in this situation. You need him to
Hype man.
Not even be the hype man, just to say, I made a mistake. Doesn't matter. We can't go back in time. We have to just play what we've got ahead of us.
Oh,
and what we've got
wow.
ahead of us is a Chicago who is lasering in.
That was a great read by Chicago. Well saved by Mist for the first time. Rettles. Tackled by Rizzo. This is going back and forth. First pass coming from G2. That's risky from Rettles. He's almost scored an own goal from the midfield.
Well, he's definitely the wild card across the field. So G2 do have their own player who can be a little bit of a detriment to their own net at times. Rizzo has come very close and sometimes come so close that he's actually put it in.
So he's looking a lot better in the grand final so far than he did at the start of the semi-finals against NRG. It's all going well for G2 at the moment. Is that in? It is now. JNaps, 2-1 for G2. Where on earth is the peeps defense?
Yeah, once again, moving too far forward. JNaps easily comes out on top of the challenge. Lead re-established for G2, and once again, the peeps just do not show the discipline required. It's like they want to get a lead as quickly as they can. Not willing to wait for their opportunity. Instead, press too far forward. Rizzo will be by himself. Lovely first touch, but still going for... Tie us up.
What a bump. The peeps continue to find success with the physical play. Rettles right in front of the ball, just denying Chicago the right of access. And they've answered once again.
There's usually a lot of things that we see in Rocket League that we can point towards one event where it became such a huge part of gameplay. That hook across our way, second gyros by himself. Didn't do anything too much else of it, but there's been a lot of teams that we've seen today switch from playing it in the corner to immediately hooking around looking for a goalkeeper.
It's a play that makes a lot of sense, because how else are you going to get the ball past the goalkeeper when there's no angle to work with? Just take him out of the equation. I mean, it's something that G2 are very known for, but the peeps are doing it more consistently. Speed by Rettles, beats JNaps to the ball. Rizzo wants to slow this one down, give someone a chance to follow up, and there is a follow-up from Chicago. composure by the peeps in defense. They're just bringing the ball down, carrying it clear. However, it's still G2 getting more and more shots on. Chicago rotating back to collect the hard clear.
Rizzo collects 100 boost as well. Ball goes to the far side. JNAPS versus Mist. Actually, Rizzo came out as well. Gyro's unmarked. Again, it's Gyro with the shot. It just isn't making the contact he wants.
Got a minute. A few seconds left. That clear's not ideal. Chicago, one miss from there. You know, you've got to hand it to G2. They are punishing the peeps every time that the peeps put a single foot wrong. And that is, for me, the difference between these two teams. One team panicking, not playing with the composure that you need in a grand finals. And then you've got G2, who are just like hawks waiting for the misplays. That's a crossbar by Mist. It's a tough shot, but you need to score that.
The peeps have been equal to G2 in the neutral game, but one team's making mistakes, and the other one simply is not.
The other one is punishing them. It's 38 seconds now, G2 trying to make it a 2-game lead. This is very similar to the Vitality series that the peeps have just made it through. It looked for a moment like Vitality were going to go 2-0 up, and then how do you come back from there if you're the peeps? They didn't let it happen, and they're not going to let it happen here. 3-3. The peeps, they've just got away with getting the ball into the middle.
Why is G2 so far up there? I can only explain it by Gyro being just so unpredictable of how he was going to play it. Went around for a much wider angle than anyone else would expect. Now we're all tied up yet again. G2 have dropped another lead against the peeps, and as much as we've been crediting them so far, they've struggled to hold on to one.
Yeah, you have to hand it to the peeps every time. And G2 go in front, they have an answer. Do they have the finishing touch? Do they have the class that they didn't have in the last game? If they do, we've got a series on our hands.
I feel like everyone at home, despite what the peeps have accomplished this tournament, need to see that first game go for the peeps to really believe that they can do this. A double commit will require Mist to buy them a little bit of time. It's gonna go. Oh! It's their first game!
Mist with the recovery of a lifetime. Takes it past one. Gets on the opposite side of the ball, puts it into the middle for Gyro to win. And now the peeps, they're finally showing us that they have potential to win this series, to win this entire tournament. That's all you need to see to know that they've got a real chance.
The two hardest games for the peeps to win was always going to be the first one and the championship one. First one's out of the way. Now time to do the work to get you to the hardest one possible.
And after such a blunder in game one, to keep your cool, to go down 3 times and every time score an equalizer, and not only that, but win quickly in overtime. That did not take long.
The peeps have scored in a very similar fashion quite often here. They're forcing a G2 player to come and challenge them either on the corner, near the wall, and from there, they just lay it over to the middle, open net. That's how they got both of those last 2 goals.
They have so much faith in each other to get the ball into the box, because you don't see that very often.
No, it's very low reward play.
Nobody really tries this kind of play style where you're just centering the ball and then scoring an open net, because it's so obvious. You can see it coming. But the peeps are outplaying in these micro situations. They're waiting till the last minute. As soon as JNAPS jumped there off the goal line, there's the ball, flicked past him, wide open for Gyro. Let's see if they can do it again. Just imagine if they had the game 1 composure. We could be looking at a 2-0. We could very easily be looking at peeps 2-0 over G2.
And the amazing thing is, even if peeps were 2-0, there'd be still maybe 60% of the world out there still thinking they couldn't do it. That's how unbelievable this story has been.
Yeah, until I see them lift the trophy, I can't believe that they will have any chance of winning it, because this is just unbelievable. And now, it becomes more unbelievable.
I think at this point, we need to convert to the religion of the peeps and start to believe.
Wow, so Rizzo in reverse, just trying to get anything on that ball with the speed that the peeps have been playing at in attack. That has caused Rizzo to misplay. He knows that someone is going to be attacking that ball quickly. He knows he has to match that speed, but in doing so, he's missed the ball entirely.
Chicago tries to play it out, but JNaps is able to get there for the block. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult play, but, well, not if your name is missed. Over to JNaps one more time, trying to equal. This is the first time this series that the Peeps have managed to take a lead. And as every single team that has played them today will tell you, that is very difficult to take off them.
It's just incredible shot stopping by the Peeps. Usually when you have multiple goalkeepers, everybody's jumping all over the place. But look at that from G2. We've got JNaps on the goal line, waiting for a point-blank range pass from Rizzo.
Well, it was going to be difficult, but G2 ripped it from their hands.
Wow.
What a play that is. G2 showing some next-level class on their side.
That's brilliant by Rizzo. That's not even a shot on target from Rizzo. That's been stolen away by JNaps. So Rizzo's just gone for a pass when he very, very easily could have scored himself. That is the selflessness you want to see from them. Wait a minute, what is going on? Give us a breather, Reynolds. I guarantee you, every time G2 score, the Peeps have got an answer.
70 seconds played, 3 goals scored, two breaths taken.
I don't have any time to do some, give Rizzo any praise here.
No time for analysis, goals only at this point.
Scoring again. Wait, here comes Chicago. Are we going to see even more goals? Nicely dealt with by Gyro, in fact.
This has been the most explosive major in Rocket League's history over 4 years. We haven't seen anything like this.
It's so rare to have every series be an absolute belter here.
Well, I saw a comment earlier on, and it's 100% true. We could have run this tournament 100 times. Okay. Many teams would have won this.
Easy defending for the Peeps yet again. Not even close. G2 looking actually a little bit desperate. What is happening here? Did they go into this match overconfident? We heard it from Chicago, and when I heard him say that in the pre-match interview, I thought that is actually a win condition for the Peeps, because Chicago's just publicly declared something that can very easily be clipped. I'm thinking, videos taken moments before disaster. You're going to hear Chicago's clip there, declaring themselves as the best team in the world, and then right afterwards, Peeps lifting the trophy. Like, that's something that didn't need to happen. I love that Chicago's done it, but it's just causing the Peeps to have the underdog story of a lifetime.
Gyro up to the wall. Got a second touch. Chicago this time realizing that Peeps have been very difficult to play against that wall, so instead takes a different angle of approach. Now Chicago, he's tried to take this shot numerous times. He hasn't scored one yet, but across the entire day, he's inching closer and closer. Now
Peeps always ready for those goal line saves. It's a difficult shot to get past him. G2 need to try and surprise them somehow. Rettles, tight angle redirect. One of those from Justin earlier today. Bad effort by Rettles, and missed. Also from a tight angle, he can't find the target, but G2 are stuck in their own box here. Not much boost to play with.
Yeah, this is the first time that the Peeps are doing to G2 what G2 have done to everybody else this weekend. Stuffed them into the orange side of the field and do not let them out. Although Rizzo is putting together a couple of decent plays. Chicago pushing it off the corner. Gyro's touch. Very, very inviting for Chicago, but didn't have the boost to get above the ball. That's going to give the Peeps time to recover. And now missed. Might have time to put this one in! Oh! Unbelievable save by Chicago. The Peeps unable to continue the offense after.
What a save by Chicago. We've been saying that a lot today. G2 need those saves because it's the Peeps who are creating opportunities. They're taking very, very threatening shots. Now the time is running out for G2. Chicago at the other end. Top corner. 2-2.
Pick that one out. Unbelievable shot from Chicago. We've seen Mist pull off some miraculous saves. But you could show him that one 10 more times. He's still not reaching it.
Yeah, had to challenge. Maybe there's no boost on Mist, and he's just sitting in the goal, hoping that the shot comes directly at him. Nice bump there by Rettles. Knew he couldn't play the ball, so he's playing the car instead. Mist follows suit. Now Gyro. They try and knock the ball middle, just like they've been doing all series long. G2 are just sitting back and looking for an opportunity to break away, because it's them who's, they're just getting stuck in defense here. JNaps will find a gap.
Mist pushes away to Rettles. What a great touch though. Chicago lays it off, and Rizzo razored past the ball. Rettles now tries to infield. Rizzo can take over. It was a good idea by Rettles, but he did not have the support available to him. Now Gyro pops it over the top. There is actually Mist getting bullied by JNabs. Now JNabs goes from shooter. Trying to pass that one across.
What a read by Rettles. Has he got the shot? It's off, but now the follow-up comes in.
Every time it's the same.
That read by Rettles has just destroyed G2. The pass that G2 have scored off so many times this weekend. This is what happens when teams read it.
It is a dangerous, dangerous pass. I've seen something very similar to this once before. It was Method against Cloud9 back in Season 4, where Cloud9 were obsessed with a particular passing play, and Method had the read on it. They didn't let it go through, and that's what gave them the win. Have the Peeps managed to figure out something similar? Can they take this? Chicago almost sent us to another overtime, and this time the Peeps have the wherewithal to get it down.
It's time to start believing. The Peeps, 2-1 over G2, and they are loving it.
Feeding off the crowd.
The Blunderers threw away game one is a distant memory for Rettles. All he sees now is goal explosions in G2's net.
That is a phenomenal point you make, though, Johnny, because realistically,
they could be winning 3-0. It should be 3-0. This is unbelievable. G2, what do? They are just getting outplayed.
I can't say this enough. This is the 12th seed. These guys should have been gone halfway through yesterday. They have made it 4 rounds further than anybody thought they would, and they can still take it the entire way.
It's absolutely crazy. The G2, undefeated all tournament. Everybody's calling them, including myself, the favorites. Even at the start of day 2, we're calling them the favorites because of how they're playing. They just dominate. And we've said for a long time, when G2 play their game, they don't look beatable. They have, I think, the highest peak in Rocket League at the moment.
They're one of those teams, with the way G2 have been playing, that you would say they should never lose to anybody ranked below them. But right now, the Peeps look anything but ranked below them. They are a team who have been on form this entire weekend and are now 2 games away. But G2, to their credit, are used to this spot. NRG had them on the ropes. G2 bounced back. Can they do it again? Or will they continue to get just every shot against them? That one doesn't quite go in, though.
Nicely done by Rettles. Getting the ball past one, blocking the shot of another. The demos from Rettles as well. He is doing so much groundwork for the Peeps to build on.
Not often that game 1 can go the way it did, and we'll still say the player that caused that issue is having a good series. That's exactly what Rettles has done so far. JNabs lays it off to Chicago. And I would say, actually, at this point, my one issue with G2 is that we've been praising them for disguising these passes quite often. These haven't been that well disguised.
Indeed, we've talked as well about, you know, top teams matching up against lower-rated teams in Dreamhack. Very often, what you'll hear from teams after they've been upset is they'll say, we just didn't know how to play against them. This play style is just not something we're used to. Is that what the Peeps are doing, perhaps? Nice save by Mist again. Rizzo coming in for the rebound. Nobody there on the goal line to put the last touch, the finishing touch to the goal.
Half volley on the backboard as well. Rizzo plays it straight off to Chicago. He's got plenty of time. Wants to put it up high with the Peeps really being all that active right now, trying to push away. That's exactly why, because Mist on the counter-attack. He's going to just see if Rettles going to put it in! 1-0 Peeps!
Just look at Mist. He doesn't care about the ball, which is rolling close to the goal line. He's only looking for G2 players. He's like, wait, there's nobody here? Well, that's fine. That works great for us as well. 1-0 the Peeps in, I think, the most ridiculous grand final we've ever seen in Rocket League.
It's not necessarily had the most highlight level plays we've ever seen, but in terms of what's happening on our screen, it's ridiculous.
They're just mauling G2. 2 players taken out of the game. Make it 3. G2 can't even stay alive, far less win a game or score a goal. And now here comes Mist again into the backboard. You spawn with no boost, G2. What are you gonna do?
across the world. The first ever all North American Grand Finals, and the peeps are dominating.
The peeps are laughing. They are just laughing on their side of the stage. I don't think I've ever seen this amount of disrespect to a top-tier team, a team who called themselves the best in the world before this series started. They don't look like the best in the world at this particular moment. They've got time to remedy that. The peeps continue to dominate.
Gyro, unchallenged for the longest time, and you can see what JNAB's response has been right now. He knew that that hook across the backline from the peeps was going to happen. Forced himself onto the backboard. It's causing chaos on the G2 defensive side.
We are witnessing a bloodbath.
And it's not the bloodbath anybody expected.
Especially after game one. Especially after G2 pick up a freebie and you think, well, that's the difference between these two teams. One of them knows how to play cool under pressure. The other one's just running around like headless chickens. But since then, it's been the peeps having an answer for every play that G2 make, and G2 are completely at a loss for what to do whenever peeps move the ball around the field.
Gyro up onto the backboard. Less than 2 minutes for G2 to find 3 goals. Rettles puts the ball over the top. Can't get any further. Chicago unchallenged. Almost got it in, but again it's missed. Can they get another one? Second stop happens. Rettles forces the challenge.
G2 frustrated. Not eliminated yet, but if things keep going like this, they will be. There's a goal though for JNABs. And it's a brilliant team play to set it up.
Now, there was a conversation I had earlier on with G2, and they said to me that when they got to a very similar situation like this against NRG, they said to themselves, we don't want to go out without playing our game. Maybe the same shout has just come in.
Well, that's what they did in the NRG matchup. They suddenly just started attacking all out, using all 3 players. The problem is, they actually tried that at the end of the last game. And what happened? Infield pass to your third man, intercepted, open net for the peeps. Now, if G2 want to go out playing their own game, I am perfectly okay with that. But they need to watch out because the peeps, at least up until now, have been reading it.
Chicago has an argument with the post. Unfortunately, nobody's ever won that one. Gyro takes it down. Get it into the back of the net. A 2-goal lead is not the most comfortable position to be, but neither was JNABs on the back line.
I'll tell you, the peeps, they might only be leading by 2, but they are continuing to pressure. They're attacking every single ball with speed, with conviction, and G2 looking sluggish compared to what we're used to seeing from them.
Speaking of the word speed, he's got to be happy right now. He said that he only ever wants to lose to the tournament winners. Well, right now, the peeps are looking very much like that. The final few seconds of this game, the peeps are 10 seconds from not match point, but championship point, and it looks like they're gonna do it.
2 of them as well. 3 of them, actually. I can't even count. They have 3 chances to win Dreamhack Montreal, one of, if not the most stacked Rocket League event in the history of the esport. The first ever All-NA final. If the peeps win the first ever All-NA final, I don't know what I'm gonna say.
It's not a team that you would ever have had on your radar, and for G2 right now, this was their opportunity to right so many of their wrongs. Couldn't beat PSG back in 2018, couldn't beat Team Vitality over at the last World Championship. And now, with the way this is going, they look like they couldn't beat the peeps.
Well, this is when we'll find out exactly what G2 are made of. Because they've been in this position before. They've failed in this position before. Now, if they really want that championship win, if they want to win a major, the first major with this particular roster, they just need to win 3 games in a row against the peeps. If you ask them before the tournament, let's scrap the entire format. We're going to give you 3 games against the Peeps. If you win them all, you're the champions. I think they would have taken that, that format instead of the one that they've gone through, because look at what Chicago said before the game. He called themselves the best team in the world. And you know, like I said earlier, I think he might have shot himself in the foot, because look at what's happening. The Peeps, again, score the opening goal.
Dreamhack Montreal is currently bearing witness to history. The Peeps start off well, and Johnny, I said the championship game was going to be the most important one. It was going to be the hardest one to complete. A goal within 6 seconds makes life a heck of a lot easier.
You know, I wonder, on that play from JNAPS, did he get stuck on the wall? He's driving around a curved surface. He might be trying to jump there, full knowledge the ball isn't rolling, and just got completely stuck on it. That's still his own fault. He could have come more vertically at it. And the Peeps, they are going to score every time the ball goes center. There's always somebody there for it. Now Chicago has options. He can't get the top corner. Now G2 for another goal from somewhere else, and there it is from JNAPS. And this is key, because he did not have backup here.
And for G2, a very important fact for them is that they have been scoring a lot of their open shots. The major problem has been they haven't had that many of them. G2 convert, they get themselves back in it. The Peeps have to remain nervy.
I'm thinking back to what you said last game. G2, they wanted, if they were going to lose to NRG, to go out playing their game, playing the style that we all know they are so good at. This is it now. G2, what's it going to be? Are you going to attack relentlessly? Or are you going to sit back and wait for a team to make mistakes who don't make many mistakes?
Drops down to the middle. Rizzo wins the challenge. Chicago tries to guess it. Instead, he just dived in and didn't get much for it. We've only just completed our opening minute of what could be the final game of the tournament. Again, that corner being targeted by the Peeps. Where they've had the majority of their success. That's over the top of Gyro. Now, over to JNAPS, infield pass. Chicago gives G2 the lead.
And now the misplay comes in. And G2, they are able to punish. JNAPS just giving the Peeps a taste of their own medicine. Easy center ball, just a very simple strategy, but so effective when you have goalkeepers challenging the ball, not just sitting back and waiting to intercept a pass.
We've seen more goals set up from that corner in this one series than I have in almost entire RLCS seasons. Now we've got Chicago trying to just test, maybe get a double commit out of the Peeps. That's a miss though. Missed. Tries to find Rettles. Just always keep an eye on the players off the ball for the Peeps, because they are hungry for bumps, and G2 is hungry for a second goal, but they come in a little bit too late.
There was just nobody quite ready to attack that ball. It was a nice pass off the back wall, but in this position, no one could get there in time. There's a lot of time left for the Peeps to figure this one out. They've done it before. How many times have G2 been in front by 1 goal and then conceded? Is this game going to be any different?
Rizzo, he completely misjudged that one. Rettles from that corner again, and JNAPS parks the bus on the right spot.
You know, it doesn't look like much, but that's huge from JNAPS. He somehow stopped the Peeps from just rolling the ball across the face of goal, which is something that very few teams have been able to do.
Missed. Last hit over to Chicago. Chicago to Rizzo. Lovely hit as well. Going to require Rettles to try and get rid of it. But that opens up space for G2 to try and press forwards, and JNAPS has been beaten by Gyro, who was refusing to play the ball.
Single side, such a safe place to mind game from. They've actually lost an entire minute off the clock with not many real opportunities. So maybe it's time for the Peeps to change things up. They had a lot of success with physical play in the last game. Now, that's not really been a thing, but look at Rettles. He's decided to do just that. He chases G2 away and then turns around and scores. Look at where Rettles is when this play starts.
Who in their right mind would go into their first major championship final, see their team on the defensive side, and say, you know what, lads? You'll deal with it.
Now
I'm going off on the hunt.
I'm going to go demo this guy. It's just amazing. I mean, just as we're talking about it as well, where are the bumps? Oh, there it is.
This is a mindset that is unfathomable.
G2, they were trying to counter. They knew it was coming. It was seen a mile away. It was so obvious. It was so disrespectful of Rettles to run the entire field. Hold on a second. Miss.
No way.
Double touch. It's on the goal line. Rettles misses.
That could have been the chance that won them the tournament. Now it's going to be Chicago and Gyro. Gyro gets the boost off the ceiling. Drops down far too quickly for him, and now Mist in that corner. That has caused also many problems. Rizzo's not in the right spot. Chicago is going to be forced to try and clear this one away, but Mist still around, still dangerous. Gyro will get there, no! No!
G2. They break the deadlock. Brilliant shot by JNaps. Gyro is close, but not close enough. But boy, oh boy. It looks like G2 are feeling the pressure more than the peeps at this point. We're wondering if the peeps can apply the finishing touch. Are they going to be able to keep their composure? Well, are G2 going to be able to keep their composure? Because they're all over the place at times. They're in trouble again. Chicago barely gets the ball clear.
Chicago is going to leave that one for Rizzo. Plays it off the wall. Mist has not touched it. Here's Rizzo with an opportunity. Wrestles, pulls the bump into the air. It's him and Gyro both up. They're going to be pretty low boost after this, but they're still able to play it away. 1 minute on the clock. G2 just need to hold on, but the peeps have been dangerous in this situation. So if G2, it's up and it's available for Rizzo! And it's in!
And another goal squeezes past a peeps defender on the goal line. This is huge for G2. Peeps have just won 3 games in a row. G2 need to win 3 games in a row. Surely, with a 2-goal lead, they can close out this one.
42 seconds on the clock. G2, we saw them here earlier on. They still will not be relenting. It's an opportunity. Rizzo does back off, but we saw that G2 are happy to put 5 or 6 goals past you. They will not back off the offensive side of the field.
I love that Rizzo doesn't dive in there, because that's an easy way to lose a quick counter-attack goal. Should a 50-50 go wrong? This is consistency from G2. They are winning this game from this position so many times. If you replayed it over and over again, peeps can't get out of their half. They were running out of time. It's now or never.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a scare for the peeps. The bad news for them is that they have a 0% conversion record on their championship points. The good news, they've got 2 more of them, but, and the point I want to make here, Johnny, that was a sort of win for G2 that they can replicate.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing that the peeps now have to worry about is that I don't think G2 were anywhere near their best in that game. There was lots of mispositioning, lots of panic, players accidentally tripping on goalposts, flipping when they really don't want to be doing that. And not only that, but the peeps have looked to be, I think, a little bit faster than G2. But the difference is G2 squeezed in those last 2 goals. The shooting, the quality was there for the favorites to win this. But I mean, are they the favorites right now? I don't think so.
That is a stacked arena that we have got over here for our grand finals. The peeps have had a stacked run to get to this point. They've still got 2 more opportunities to try and convert this, but at G2, if they start to get the ball rolling, yes, it's going to be very different to how we'd expect them to do it, where we thought that maybe if they get the first 2 games, they'd go ahead to sweep the entire thing. It's later on, but if G2 start to get a head full of steam, they're going to be very difficult for the peeps to stop.
Well, in the semi-final matchup against NRG, they were also in this exact same position, 3-1 down, then they win 3 games in a row. The Neo Tokyo game was a close one in that series, Game 5. The game that followed it was not. They were able to win 5-1. Will G2 replicate that scoreline? Really give the peeps something to think about as we go to a Game 7. I'm sure the peeps are only thinking about 1 game right now. And it's the one that you're all looking at, Game 6 of the Grand Finals. Let's see if the peeps can do it.
It's gonna be G2 with the starting offense, but what a block that is from Mist. 0 fear on him. A huge miss, requires JNaps to come in and help out. And he's done a great job at doing that, but Rizzo cannot afford to be missing any balls like he did right there across the face of net and whistles past the goal line.
Missed as well, but Rizzo under so much pressure, they know. The peeps are all very aware that these bumps and demos, these off-the-ball chases are causing G2 to run way out of their normal rotation. Remember, G2 is supposed to play their own game if they're being chased all the way into their own back corner.
Rattles now. Can't flick it above, but it will require Gyro to come in. Gyro's lost the challenge. Chicago Might have had it a little bit more head up if he went for Mist on the bump early. Instead, gave Mist time to play the ball, and that might be a mistake. Retals can drop it down off the pass. Peeps have shown glimpses of what they can do mechanically. We haven't seen it as much from the series, but I might see it now! Chicago takes away the danger.
So many double touches coming so close for the Peeps. Need to be careful with these 50-50s coming in from the side there is so risky. G2 could get a favorable 50-50 in that position. They won't need one though. They've worked the ball forward without one. Last-ditch save by Gyro keeps him out.
Rizzo looking for a follow-up. It's only as far as Mist. Chicago 100 boost, plenty of time to work with the ball. Lays off the pass for JKnaps, who just whistles past it. Rizzo looks to keep the play going, but Retals removes Chicago, kills off the offensive rotation, wins the challenge for Mist! How?
Psyonix, please! I don't believe that that's actually bounced out. I swear the ball crossed the line, and then next thing you know, it's going away. The Peeps are so close to taking this tournament. Now they really have to focus. The last thing they need is to think that it's not on the cards for them. The world is all against them. Oh, but it might be. JKnaps opens the scoring. And now the Peeps are starting to look a little bit less comfortable.
Lovely layoff. JKnaps has not missed a beat. With the rest of the team stepping up as well, he's hit knapsack form. And that is a scary JKnaps to be taking up against. But the Peeps will feel like they should have been 1 goal up.
Just like in game 1, a very winnable game for the Peeps. They've had a shot bounce so tantalizingly close to going in, and then they've blundered at the other end. It's so reminiscent to what we saw earlier. But unlike that game, it's not yet over. They've got 2 minutes to remedy the situation. See if they can do it.
It's gonna be Gyro. Can't beat Rizzo. Rizzo, he's not falling for these tricks anymore. He wants to blast right through the middle of that ball every single time. G2 determined for a second goal that can at least give them some comfort that they can get a game 7. Here's JKnaps looking to land on it. Retals gets rid of the danger, at least only momentarily. Unchallenged off the backboard. Here comes JKnaps. It's underneath. It's underneath. Missed by a chase down. Chicago gets back in time. Peeps under the pressure. This tournament is ridiculous.
Every time you think that G2 are gonna catch a breather, the Peeps show up with another equalizer. Still, 1:22 left in the game. Just 1 goal is all the Peeps need to win this tournament. G2 need 1 to stay alive in the tournament.
Dreamhack Montreal 2019. Mark it down. It does not get better than what we have seen this weekend, what we have seen this championship Sunday. Now JKnaps off the corner, looks for the follow, can't do it. Rizzo was called off. Chicago looks to move in.
Now G2, they're spread pretty thin. Here comes Gyro, only Rizzo back. Can he stop him? No! It's saved by Chicago though. What a recovery by G2. They're still under pressure.
Chicago with JKnaps in support. Look to try and take out Retals, but Retals reacted quickly. Over to the corner, JKnaps rotating back. Rizzo off the backboard. It might be open. Missed over the top. JKnaps by himself powers it downfield for an awaiting Chicago. Over to the side. Here's JKnaps in for a field pass. Chicago can wait. A little bit of a lull now on the offensive side. JKnaps can't infield after that.
These demos for the Peeps are completely disrupting the G2 rotation. Just when they get into position to make that interception that they're known for, they're taken out of the game.
I've never been this close to hyperventilation in my entire life. What a save! I think that was actually off the crossbar. Rizzo follow up. Mist will block it one more time. We are going to overtime. Should this hit the floor, it will hit the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it.
1 goal for the Peeps is all it takes. G2 need that and another game. Who's it gonna be?
Infield pass for JKnaps off the backboard. Should have taken it. Rizzo also puts it wide. They just need to find the middle ground. Rizzo! JKnaps sends us to game 7.
happened between the peeps and G2, asking everyone that I could talk to about their expectations of this series going into it, I didn't hear that from anybody. Not unironically, but here we are, and I couldn't be more excited. The peeps versus G2. Nobody can take this tournament win away from whoever takes this. You might think, well, if G2 win their first major as a team against the peeps, nobody's going to take that seriously. It's the peeps. Well, where are you watching? Do you see the peeps that have showed up today?
I think I recovered. Not entirely sure, but I think we'll be okay. Dreamhack Montreal, you will not see anything like this again. What a shot from Rettles. At that point, it was oh so close. But for G2, they were the team that could get it over the line. And I asked this at the beginning of the series. I got a pretty good response. But I want to ask one more time. Dreamhack Montreal, Game 7, are you ready? I think they're pretty good, mate.
I'm surprised they've got any energy left after these 6 games. I'm running pretty low over here. Let's see.
I was half expecting a bunch of reclinable chairs last time we took a look over there. Champions Field will be where it's decided. G2 versus the peeps. Seed number 5 versus seed number 12. 5 minutes to crown a champion.
Let's see just how scripted this tournament is. Will there be an overtime? Or are G2 going to assert their authority? Will the peeps continue to surprise us? It's G2 starting this game just as they finished the last, just keeping the peeps in their goal.
It is going to be Rizzo trying to take over early. Rettles comes out of the chance pretty well. Over to Rizzo, couldn't make contact. Off the backboard though, almost immediately. Gyro with Rettles over in support. Looked for him to be the passing option. Didn't get it though. Missed by himself. Has to be Chicago. Can't quite do it. JDAPS with not enough boost to get there. If there was a 30 in that little red core on the right-hand side, that would have been 1-0.
Nice recoveries by Gyro. He's using the sidewall to land faster. The peeps getting a lot of territory for the first time. They forced G2 back. They passed the first test. They survived the first onslaught. But I can bet there will be more.
The peeps have dealt with grand final pressure, but ask even Turbo Pulsar. This is something else entirely. He's already said he hates Champions Field because he knows what it means. Peeps need to try and overcome G2, and G2 are trying to overcome the demons of the last 2 years.
Well, by the end of this game, one of these teams will love this map, the other will hate it. It's the first real chance for the peeps. Missed. Following Gyro's misplay, actually faking it. Working out wonderfully for them. That's what the peeps have done well. Whenever there's any chaotic situation, they thrive.
Down. Gyro leaves it. Rettles will take over. That's actually very promising to see from the peeps. They did not panic in a situation where they could have done. Chicago lays it off for JNAPS. Well done again by the peeps. They cut off the pipe. Oh! It's an open net. We've got Gyro actually. Didn't see it. Didn't get the call. It's another opportunity gone.
I don't think he expected Rizzo to leave that one. Rizzo all alone at the back. But you'd have him every single time to take control there, and he wasn't able to. Almost half the game gone already. Still scoreless.
Rizzo with the pop-up. It's up to Chicago next. Missed, didn't go. Allows himself to try and grab the save afterwards. Missed. Only over the top. It's open! 1-0.
It looked like G2 were going to get to play their game. They kept the peeps back for the entire first half, but now they get hit on the counter. The peeps open the scoring.
2.5 of the longest minutes of the peeps' lives, and they're against the most potent offense in Rocket League right now. G2 are gonna go on the warpath. Gyro forced to save, gets enough height as well. His team is entirely back.
Just over 2 minutes, but here comes Chicago, shut down by Mist. Rizzo's alone at the back again. What can Rettles do? He's got it past him. He's gonna look to get it into the middle. There it is for Gyro, but Gyro's a little bit too far forward.
G2 have tried so many things to try and react to those goal line demos. Some of it's worked, some of it hasn't. The most important thing is they need one of these plays to work out for them. JNAPS has been stone cold silent so far in Game 7. He needs to pick it up. He needs to be that talisman he once was, and he's needed to get rid of that because that could have been so very dangerous.
In the last game, it's the peeps! We're stepping up! G2 stunned yet again!
And it's G2's bread and butter. The infield pass, unchallenged, unmarked, unstoppable.
2-0. Can the peeps hold on to this lead? They threw away their game 1, which should have been theirs. Now they have a chance to make up for that, and not just that, win the entire tournament. Here come G2. Again, the peeps are in the way.
And every single clear is another small victory for the peeps. More time ticking off the clock. JNABs for Rizzo. Rizzo tries to get it back, but it's always going away from JNABs. Chicago tries to lay it off for JNABs one more time, but the peeps read every single play.
We're inside the final minute, Shogun, and G2 look like they are completely rattled. They don't know what has just happened to them. They're asking, how are we in this position? And I think the peeps are more than a bit surprised. What?
They just celebrated like they just won it.
They might have
just done
They
something.
may have just won it.
Gyro has been the MVP of this weekend. He has popped off time and time again. He's put in the third goal. Wrestles once one more.
Miss.
Hands it over to Miss. It almost went in. 40 seconds. G2 are almost completely dead.
They're out of ideas. They just don't know where to go. Everywhere they turn, there's a peeps player waiting.
That should have been in.
30 seconds. G2, where are your answers?
It's going to be Chicago forced to wait. Over into the corner one more time.
20
Chicago
seconds.
Leaves it. JNABs over to Rizzo. They've got to get this play to work off. Drops it down for JNABs. Another block from Miss. Another huge win. And again, one more time. Miss to make it far. And he will do so. They did it.
This is not a dream. If you just tuned in, you are witnessing the biggest Cinderella story that we have ever seen. The peeps have won Dreamhack Montreal.
Everybody who made predictions, I'm sorry you were wrong. I'm not sorry that you got to see that though. This weekend was something special. The peeps add themselves to an illustrious list of winners from this year, from the Dreamhack Championship. That's right, boys, don't be too surprised. You actually did it.
The peeps, they make history. They make miracles happen here against G2 in one of the most tense and passionate grand finals I know I've ever seen in any esports.
Man. So this reminds me, Dreamhack Atlanta 2017, a little team called the Muffin Men. An unsigned team comes out. They beat the dynasty that would become Gale Force Esports, and look where they are now. They are Cloud9, one of the most dominant teams to ever play the game. The peeps, they have just begun that journey, and we'll see where it takes them.
The most natural performance we've seen from a new-coming team since the Muffin Men. Their first time in a major grand finals, and the peeps. Amazing performance.
Can we talk about the corner plays from this roster throughout this series? Every time the ball got in G2's corner, finding a way to put it in the back of the net, whether it be a pass, whether it's baiting G2, it was just insane.
So not only that, but just the way they bounce back. Like game one, that was their game, and Reynolds just makes the boneheaded play in 0 seconds. I was calling it, I'm like, this should have been a 4-0. But they do that play where they lose that game when they shouldn't have, and they win 3 in a row. Then they lose 2 in a row to G2 to go to Game 7. You're on Champions Field, and Gyro's like, oh, I love this place. I just did this to Mouse Sports, making that insane goal. The Peeps just kept battling back.
I mean, we have the Peeps who literally the entire time were positioning themselves perfectly against this G2 roster. Every time the G2 roster wanted to get a midfield pass in, the Peeps were right there to answer it, completely denying any chemistry, any possession, and clearing it forward. And then you have somebody like Gyro up front making unreal movements in the air and finishing almost every single shot and being clutch when it matters most.
Man, I was scared though. Game 5, I was like, Mist and Gyro, they started to show a little bit of nerves, and I don't blame them at all. Like, this is their first grand final, their first championship Sunday. Reddles was holding them together, but then Game 7 happened, and it seemed like everything turned around. All 3 of the members were making plays again, just in time.
Yeah, we were talking about the experience and also the coaching aspect for G2 to be able to mentally remain strong, but the fact that they did, as you already said, you know, getting Game 1, having a misplay, and then realizing, okay, it's going to be a little bit dark here, get those 3 wins, but then still hold their own. It is actually insane. It shows the competitive mentality and desire this roster had, it feels like, was unmatched.
I mean, there was a defining moment for Reddles, like you said. 51 seconds left in that Game 7. They're up 3 goals, and I see Reddles go crazy. And then right after that, he calms down and he says, okay, look, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. And I think that was a great leadership moment, especially for Reddles in this new roster.
The biggest Cinderella story ever, and no other team from North America has ever been in this position where they're not one of the big 3 and they make a grand finals. The only other team would be iBuyPower Cosmic, but that was a favorite back then. So these guys were in uncharted waters, and they just took down G2, a team that everyone was saying is one of the best in the world.
Well, joining us here at the desk is the entirety. We're a little lopsided here. We can bring it in, boys. Come on. Here we go.
Let's get comfy.
It is none other than the legends themselves, the Peeps. Guys, go through the mentality as we started through day number 1 and getting all the way to these finals, because I feel like the momentum you guys had gained was absolutely insane.
So day number 1, we were a bit nervous for the first LAN with Mist. We're expected to do well. We lose to Dignitas, and then we end up beating Ground Zero, which we were expected to win. We won that. Oh, sorry.
There we go.
We expected to win that one. And then to day 2, who did we play day 2?
You lost to G2?
Yeah, and then just for like
$50,000,
$50,000, right?
I mean, Rizzo did forget that he played you guys, so it's only right that you forgot
so
to.
We lost to G2. We weren't really upset because it's G2. They're a good team. And still don't know who we played after that. Ghost. Close series.
Very close.
Pretty good. And then we played TSM, who, after watching them versus GC Aura, we were like, there's no way we lose this. We just had a good win against Ghost. We're so confident. And then coming into day 3, our hardest matchup was Mouse. 100%. We knew that before the start. If we played Vitality, Mouse was 100% the hardest matchup we had. So after beating them, we were extremely confident. Underdogs coming in. We just kept that through the whole tournament, and it ended up working.
So we made history today, but I would say, like, I think with the crowd as well, like, I've never seen a crowd not be in favor of G2. This crowd was behind you guys. So do you have any words for the crowd?
Just to always remember, don't sleep on the Peeps.
I mean, you guys made a history here, and you accomplished a goal. What is the next step right now for the Peeps?
Winning RLCS, obviously.
I want to know here, specifically from Mist, in games kind of in the back half of that last series, it felt like the emotions were getting to you at a couple of moments. So I want to hear mentality-wise how you were feeling as that kind of progressed through and how you were able to keep it together all the way through Game 7.
I was actually really upset with myself. They're pretty easy things to do, but my teammates helped me a lot. They got me back up, got me back to win the series, so it was good from them. It was all them.
All right, Gyro, I have to hear from you, and we have to go back.
Yeah.
Champions Field, Mouse Sports, that Game 5, that was nutty. Then you do it again here in Game 7. What is it about Champions Field for you?
It used to be called Peeps Field, if you remember. So it just always stuck with me. I just never want to lose on the last game. So I don't know, I flicked the switch. I don't know.
And Reddles, man, where do you get this confidence from? I gotta know. You are the team leader right now. Where does it come from? How are you so confident? How do you perform so well?
So a main One of the ways to win is just getting the other team's heads. And if you see someone stand up on a desk and flex, you're probably they're probably going to be in your head. So just a little tactic.
The mental warfare. Has that been the end game for a long time here with that confidence being displayed? Because there's been a lot of words. You know, the tweet that went out before the series going up against Vitality, there's been that confidence. And all of this is the mind game at hand here of Reddles?
Yeah, I mean, it worked.
I respect it. That's some next level stuff here.
Yeah, man.
Reddles is in the matrix, whether it be actually on the field or in real life itself. So any closing thoughts here, again, not only to the crowd here, but maybe the fans you guys made, because everybody is looking at you from this point on.
Thank you, everyone, for rooting for us. We had a majority of the fans over G2, which is unexpected from any team. That's just wild. So everything's to you guys. Thanks, guys, so much.
Well, with that, any closing thoughts for anybody here? Gibbs, Turtle, as we come to a conclusion here, the Dreamhack magic of Montreal coming to life.
I just want to thank Dreamhack for all 4 of these events in 2019. It's made Rocket League even better. 2019 has been amazing, and honestly, Montreal, with all the overtimes, the close games, it's been a blast.
Yeah, what a tournament for Rocket League in general. I mean, making history, and just every single series has been amazing. So much fun here, and what a way to end it.
We'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you who tuned in here to Dreamhack Montreal. And of course, we have to say thank you to those who made it possible, and it's going to be our sponsors, esportmanagement.com, Psyonix, Dreamhack, and Monster. And I would personally here like to thank you for being able to host Dreamhack Montreal and be a part of Rocket League. It's been a blast, and we'll see you guys next time.